courageous means being able to do every single task every single day? Or is it trying to wake up in the morning and trying to do things you thought you'll never be able to do? When we feel so unwell, it tends to be so difficult for us to carry out daily tasks. But what does one have to go through to wake up and be courageous to try and take over their day? So on today's episode, let's welcome the one and only, a conscious healer, a life coach, and a courageous woman, none other than Javaria Malik, to speak the unspeakable with us. Hi.
Hi, I'm so excited to be on this, and really, really glad that you actually invited me here.
Thank you so much. And would you like to add anything about yourself?
Yeah, regarding, as you have given the introduction that I'm a conscious healer, and then when you talk about courageous, well, when you're going to ask me the questions, we'll go through, because I believe that we need to, it's something more than courage.
Okay.
And it's something more than acceptance when you have any kind of, medical condition.
Right. So, you have experienced spinal muscular atrophy for how long? Can you tell us about your experience on it, how you deal with it and things like that? Because I know that's one main thing you always talk about on your page, and you talk about how you have to go through how you experience those things. Can you tell our audience what you actually go through with that?
Yeah, so firstly, I would like to tell that spinal muscular atrophy, when someone says that they have spinal muscular atrophy, they have to say goodbye to lots of their dreams.
Yeah.
And it's a very horrific condition. And daily activities, suppose gulping water, swallowing, breathing. Imagine when your brain forgets to breathe.
Yeah.
Imagine when you can't focus. But then you have to live in this world to survive.
Right.
These are the challenges. We don't know that how we're going to get up in the morning. Are we going to be aligned? Is our pelvic going to be stable? Are we going to work like normal people or not?
Right.
It's unpredictable.
Yeah.
And the challenges like taking shower, wearing clothes, it takes a lot of energy. Now, for example, you have 50 kgs on both of your legs and 50 kgs on your shoulders and your back, and you are walking. How would you feel?
It would be really tough.
So that's our life. So if we fall down, we cannot get up on our own.
So how do you deal with it? Like you say, if you fall down, you cannot get up. So let's say, for instance, maybe you want to pick something up from the ground, right? Or you want to, maybe get down the stairs. How do you do these things? And on top of it, like, I watch your stories, you're always going to the gym, trying to work out and things like that. So what's your experience like during this process?
I have my grabber so that I can pick the stuff.
Okay.
And when I'm tired, I try not to depend on that grabber much, because I want my muscles to get used to it. Because if I won't use my muscles, they will get waste. So now doctors, majority of the people with my condition, I know lots of girls with the same condition, same type, they cannot walk and they are wheelchair bound. Now, why they're wheelchair bound is that physiotherapists, they tell them you're not supposed to do exercise. You just need to do, like this, that's it. But this is only good for stability and mobility. Right. But then what about strengthening? They don't think about strengthening. We have weak muscles. My trainer really gets surprised. He say that you have an amazing body. Now, why? Because my mind doesn't know how to use it. My mind doesn't know how to stand. My mind doesn't know how to lift my leg up. So he is training me that way. So with strengthening exercise, like if I tell you that I do 50, 60 kg leg press, the shoulder press, 40, 50, and then I will feel my core, then I will feel my muscles. To, walk and to live that daily challenges of the life.
For your body to process the pain.
Sorry?
So it takes time for your body to process the pain.
Yeah, exactly. To feel. I won't say pain because the pain is actually there.
Okay.
Pain is there like 24/7.
Right.
But to get active, because our muscles are already sleeping, but we need to pump it up. We need to put heavy weight to activate them.
Right. And is this condition reversible in any way?
If you're going to do strength training, reversible, but it is a progressive condition.
It's a progressive condition. So with time, does it get better or does it get worse?
It gets worse. Like if I tell you, since a year back, this hand muscle is getting very thin, and I like for this, I'll show you. I can scratch. Like this, it's like this.
Oh.
But now what I do is I'm doing exercises like this to strengthen my hand muscles.
Yeah.
Because for me, I don't want to come on a wheelchair bound. I have given the message to the universe that I'm not that one spinal muscular atrophy person who will be wheelchair bound.
Right.
So as I believe that it's about your mind. Right. People going to tell you a lot of bad things, but how you believe in it.
Yeah. And I was going to get to that question. That was the next question I was going to get to. You know, you're living with this condition, and as you just mentioned, it's progressive. It gets worse with time. How do you wake up and how do you keep on going with that, knowing that, you know, I'm going to struggle with A, B, C, D? What keeps you going on? Like you go to the gym, which is amazing, right? Despite of the condition, and you do other tasks, you heal people, even despite of going through things on your own. How do you keep going with these things?
At times, I'll say that when I have breathing issues, I do text my clients that if we can reschedule the session, but if they say that they need to talk to me, you know, in emergency, there are such clients who want to talk in emergency. I'll say, okay, just give me 2 hours in between, because of course you want me to talk and I cannot talk. So they are really nice that they do understand. Right. And they're very cooperative. And usually clients come to me, I believe, because I have this condition and I have been through a lot in terms of relationship, career. Yes. And I post that openly. So they say that, so they say that we just come to you because of this, that how you are surviving. Right. And when we talk about, you know, that mindset, that how do I have to manage it? I don't have a choice. For you, you can take a break from your gym 2-3 days. You have a choice. Yeah. For me, what is the choice? There is nothing on the table, so I choose. So I know that we cannot, you know, without food. 3 days, 4 days, even I believe like a person like me, after 3-4 hours, I feel hungry. We cannot live without food. But then how can I live without the exercise? I get very frustrated. And it's like, you know, I'm addicted to it, like a person who is addicted to drugs. Yes. For me, it is a drug. It is a drug that helps you heal. Yeah, but I'll say I was not like this. I used to cry. I used to blame my parents that why you guys get married. You could have done, you know, ultrasound. I used to blame them. Yeah. But then my wake up call was 3 years back when I fell down. In I think it was 2019 2019. And I fell down. My half of the body was in the tub. I fell down in the toilet. Okay. And half of the body was outside. Now my hand muscle doesn't have that much strength to push and to lift myself out. Yeah. And then I was thinking that if I, you know, put my knees down, my knees doesn't have that strength to stabilize it. Yeah. So I was like, what should I do? So fortunately, I put the towel, which was on my side by luck. I grabbed that towel, and through that, it took 30-40 minutes to come out of the bathroom, and I was just dragging myself like this. And then I literally cried that, you know, why am I, you know, facing a lot of stuff, even in terms of career, for job 9 to 5, because I cannot sit more than 2 hours. Yes. My legs start numb. Right. And then I started doing, and then in 2019, I went through a breakup at that time. So both of the sufferings were together. Yes. And I was sleeping for 16 hours. I went into depression and I hated the daylight. Yeah. And I'm like, there is nothing for me in the market, I guess.
Yeah.
no career, nothing.
Mhm.
And then I don't know what happened to me. My skin got so bad, acne. I wasn't going to gym 3 months,
Mhm.
and my health was getting very, very worse.
Yeah.
I said, no, that's not me.
Mhm.
So I have to do something for myself.
Yeah.
And then I started living my life. Now every day I practice gratitude. Even when I fall, I say thank God that
Mhm.
I'm alive, and thank God that it's okay that you are giving me that strength.
Mhm. We'll get to you practicing gratitude, but before that, and I love how you're talking about things that I'm about to ask you. So, but I'm still going to ask you so we can get more details on it. So, this thing, you have to wake up with it. You have to face it every single day when you wake up in the morning. How does it affect your emotional state? How do you deal with your emotions in the process of everything going on every single day? Because at times, forget about having this condition, just normally waking up and even maybe doing your daily chores, sometimes it feels like too much for like anyone. You see, you wake up with this condition every single day. How do you deal with your emotions on a daily basis? And how do you keep on trying to convince yourself that, okay, I have to do this and I have to do that and things will be all right and things like that?
I believe that my soul is more intelligent than my mind.
Okay. Wow.
My mind keeps telling me that, hey, Javaria, you cannot do this. You have this condition, you will never find any person.
Mm-hmm.
And how you're going to survive in terms of your career? You'll never get a job.
Mm-hmm.
And, so many lots of stuff that your condition will get worse.
Yes.
I'll say that I am the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I am the whole entity.
Yeah.
I am the soul,
Mm-hmm.
and I know how to silence my mind.
Yes.
So I'll say thank you for giving me this information, for giving me your thought, but
Mm-hmm.
then I won't believe you because I know who am I. I'm
Yeah.
not afraid to eat alone. I'm not afraid to go alone. It's been 5 years. I'm living independently in Dubai
Yes.
without my parents, without any caretakers. Maids do come, they arrange, but I don't keep them with because I want to be very independent. I cannot depend on anyone
Mm-hmm.
because I know maybe because of this condition, and I'm a very practical person. I
Yeah.
know that nobody, when I say nobody, nobody is going to be there for you.
Yes.
And especially when you are sick, because I have seen a lot of my friends. Right now, I'll say I hardly have friends
Mm-hmm.
because I have seen while living here in Dubai 5 years that how, because I'll say it's not their fault, they are unconscious.
Okay.
So when you are conscious, you
Mm-hmm.
understand that how and why people are behaving that. So
Yeah.
I have no regrets and I don't feel angry on them.
Yes.
It's my life. I know I have to be the best version of myself every day. I
Mm-hmm.
do bottle up with emotions. I do cry, but then I am observing them. I always, tell my clients as well that be the observer of your emotions.
Yes.
I'm getting angry. I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting sad.
Yeah.
Now, what is the reason behind my sadness?
Yes.
I will look into it. I'll observe. And
True.
then something from my past will come that, okay, this person bullied me. So what?
Yeah.
They bullied you because they were unconscious, but now you are in control of your life.
Yeah. I
So
really
that's how I manage it.
I really love the point where you mentioned that you need to observe your emotions and why you're feeling what you're feeling. That's really, really important. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand. They turn to run away, and just like the way how you say your friends are unconscious. And that is actually something that you're going to find a lot of people are. They're very unconscious with the things they do, and they're not reflective towards their emotions, which leads them to feeling a lot of way, and some people even get into depression because of not reflecting on themselves. That's amazing that you say that. So Javaria, being a conscious healer, you see, you consider yourself a conscious healer and things like that, and at the same time you coach people. You see, how do you take care of your own mental health in the process? Because when you're coaching people, as much as it's beautiful to help someone out, you feel good in that way. That's the positive aspect of it. But we cannot ignore the negative aspect where we're listening to people's troubles like for hours. And how do you deal with that? How do you take care of your mental health as a life coach and as a conscious healer?
That's the question which everyone has asked me.
Yeah.
Even, my coach's friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like that, trust me, I don't take their energy.
Yes.
Because my energy at that time is so high.
Yeah.
That I think after taking the session, my client energy gets so much better that it don't affect me.
It doesn't.
My clients do cry. My clients do cry.
Mm-hmm.
They do cry. And I know that I love my clients. I am an empath person. But then I know that if I'll take stress, even for the normal bodies, the stress is very bad. If I'll take stress, I know I won't be able to walk. So I'm like, no, that's their space. That's my space. I have to protect that space. And I have accepted, I have practiced that. I remember last year in COVID when I was taking clients. Yeah. And one more thing I would like to add, that when you are passionate about your work, when this is your passion, you won't have that negative energy. You won't take that negative energy. And you won't even feel that they have negative energy. Because you are conscious that they are unaware. Yeah. So when there is, now this is something related to, I'll say, awakening. Okay. We all are positive. There is no negativity. There is no negativity. Yeah. So it's that they are unconscious. So why are we saying that they are giving us the negative energy? Can't we say that they are unconscious and sharing their troubles, and we are here as a coach or as a friend helping them and guiding them to their conscious path? Yes. When you believe that there is no negativity, there is no toxicity, then, because now these things have no opposite. Yes. When there is an opposite, it means that there is attachment. Then I'll get attached to my clients. And I don't believe in relationships that are attached. Yes. That are based on attachment. They're those they are based on attachments. So at times the client and coach relationships, they do get attached. Yeah. With me, like, we are always closing the session happily. Yes. Totally. I agree with that. So, since we talked about client attachment and things like that, and not taking your client's energy to yourself. So I would like to ask you something else as well. I've had I come across people, like just not my clients, but other like friends and family. And they're like, when you do this work of giving therapy to people or coaching people a lot, because you listen to a lot of their problems later on in life, even you start becoming depressed and things like that. So, before I started coaching people, I used to take it very personal. I'd be like, oh my God, yes, what if it happens to me? And how it is when you're just starting to coach people and you're just getting into that field. In the beginning, you tend to be very sensitive, at least on my case. You see, I was really sensitive, and I'd go to my mentor and cry, and I'm like, okay, this is what happened. Like, how am I supposed to deal with it? It was so hard for me to deal with in the very beginning, but right now it's like it just goes with the flow. And people are like, when you come out of the session, you tend to be very depressed or, things like that. But just like, the way how you mentioned that you don't take their energy. And it was the same thing with me. I started feeling good after a session instead of feeling like bad about it or like feeling sad about it. Right? Yeah. So what's your take on it? Like you just mentioned, you don't take their energy, right? And you have probably coached way more people than I did. Yeah. And do you ever have like a mentor that you go to and talk to about your feelings or things like that? How do you rejuvenate your own energy? Well, my coaching path was very rough. Yes. Like 3 years back, I'll tell you that I didn't know that what coaching was. Yes. I was focusing on being an artist, makeup artist, and then being a chef. In 2011, I started one of my business in Pakistan. And apart from that, it wasn't giving me happiness. I always wanted to stand out and to do something else. Yeah. So I said, okay, why not try these things? But I won't say that I failed. I win, or either I'll say I take lesson from it. Yes. So when I went to hospital, Saudi German over here, my doctor, he's amazing. And he said that you are my coach. So why don't you start doing coaching?
Yeah.
I started reading about it, and I never had a mentor.
Yeah.
And I am grateful that I never, of course, I am a certified coach. I did studies and I got, certifications, but not a mentor, because for me, it's not that I love to become a hero, or I'll say, I'm the perfect hero, but
Yeah.
I know that I haven't been inspired by anyone right now,
Yes.
because maybe I have been through a lot of things with my, physical health.
Yeah.
So I think that when people cry on small things, I lost my job. And I remember one of my friend yesterday told me that, do you really think that health is the most important part in our lives? And I was like, how crazy is this person? Health is really, because when you're healthy, you can't do anything.
You can't do anything. Yeah,
I
right.
said, okay, just take my life and give me your health, and
Yes.
I'll tell you what I can do.
Yeah.
So when I'll say I'm religious, but not practicing Muslim, I'll say.
Yeah.
I'm very much connected to God. I'm very much connected to Allah. So I share my problems to him and I write down. I do feel, I went to Hatta for a retreat.
Yeah.
I think a month back. I was very depressed. Now, why? Because I couldn't, everything was on the mountains. Now I was like, the lady should told me before that it's on the mountains. Now who is going to lift me up and take me to the mountains? And I want to enjoy my life.
Right.
But people were very helpful.
Yeah.
They lifted me up. One of my friend was with me, so they helped me and I enjoyed it. But now still there was something in my mind. People were looking like, look, she has a friend who is helping her, but they were thinking that you're so lucky that your friends are helping you. And I was like, now, how we both are thinking. I'm thinking that you guys are healthy and you can do everything, and you are saying that I have friendly,
Yeah.
that friendly environment you are helping. So for me, I write it down that what happened in Hatta. And when I went to Hatta, I got more awakened and I got to know more about myself and I got more silent. And when I'm silent, I got all the answers.
Yes. That's amazing. That's very beautiful. You have just mentioned something really, a very powerful message, that sometimes silence is the answer.
Exactly.
You need to be silent to listen to the things that are screaming around you.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's a very beautiful thing. Okay, now we're gonna talk about your you have very much discussed about narcissistic partners and being in a narcissistic relationship and things like that. But before we get into that, I want to know your experience when you first found out that, okay, I have this condition. What was your reaction like, and what was the reaction of your loved ones like? How did you respond to it?
Well, I wasn't shocked at all because I diagnosed it myself. I had this problem since birth.
Okay.
And but while I was growing, I used to fall down a lot. And at that time I used to get up on my own as well. But
Yes.
later when I, ended up my university in 2011, I was like, oh my God, I'm getting so sick now. It's very challenging for me to take shower, to raise my hands. And I was telling my mom that, my everything is getting weak and I think I need to do something.
Yeah.
And we went to lots of doctors. They said that you just have muscle weakness. Oh, come on, you'll be wheelchair bound. There is no treatment.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, but there must be something. There must be some solution through which I can control. So I started Googling that. My pink finger didn't have that much strength that I should bend it or, grab something.
Yes.
And my hands were trembling a lot. I got to know that through internet that I have muscular dystrophy. I was like, mom, I have muscular dystrophy. And she was like, what is that? I told her, and she was like, okay, so why are you excited? I'm like, I don't know. I'm still very grateful that I have spinal muscular atrophy. At that time, it's okay. The things were there because I saw myself growing with this condition where people told me that you are fat, you are lazy, and you cannot focus. You are dumb. I was an average student. But then they don't know that my strategies of learning are different. My brain, you guys do things without thinking. My brain will first think. I'll do my stuff first, whatever I'll do, and then my brain will recognize it. Okay, you have to do it that way.
Yes.
So the strategies are different.
Yeah.
And when I got to know, I went to one of the doctors, I sent my reports to, America, and they said that you need to have this diagnosis. Through that, I got to know that I have a spinal muscular atrophy. In 2018, I was diagnosed officially. But I wasn't shocked, trust me, because I have been bullied a lot.
Yeah.
People, because my feet fingers are like this.
Yeah.
And people never wanted to sit with me. They were like, "Eero, look at her, her fingers are so weird. So why do we sit with her?" And when you have spinal muscular atrophy, for other people, for your loved ones, I'll say when you are into a relationship, you are a burden for them.
Yeah.
They will see you as a burden. But that other person won't think that this person is living alone since a long time. And she is, or that other person, whoever is more strong than me, they're doing everything on their own.
Yeah.
I'll say I walk more than any other normal able body.
Yeah.
I am doing everything on my own. But I won't cry. I won't regret. When my mom says, I'm having a pain in my back, I have no emotions. I mean, what should I say? And she is like, "Look at you. You don't take care of me." And I'm like, how do I say that? These things people don't understand, that I am actually going through. Now you are feeling that pain.
But it's going to go okay.
Yeah, exactly. It will. But how do I, love you and come to you and, give you my warmth? Okay, it will go. I'm not that kind of person, because I don't know how to do that. I think I will have to. Yeah, exactly. I need to learn it.
Figure it out for yourself as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, I always was in need of love.
Yeah.
I was very young in my teens. I went from one city to another for studies. So I have been living all my life alone. I won't say that my parents didn't love me. Because of their support, I'm here today. But they were unconscious, they were unaware.
Yes.
I'm not that close to my family, but I am very close to my family. I mean, I share everything. But then in terms of hugging, kissing, there are different attachment styles.
Yes.
And there are different love languages.
And you feel
so when
you don't have that with your family.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So when you miss that, you crave outside, you look outside.
I agree.
Yeah. And then you will attract people who will
are like that, or
misuse. Exactly. Who will misuse you. And you will keep repeating unless you break the cycle.
Right, definitely.
And I think I just break this year because I was ending a meeting with the narcissist friends. And I was like, oh my God, that's me repeating and repeating.
Exactly.
I jot it down. Yeah, exactly. Write it down. That what are the same, and I was doing the same mistakes.
Yes.
First, in terms of relationship.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, now I don't believe in relationships. I don't believe in love.
Yes.
Because now I don't leave love. Now let's go and look for the friends. Yes. And the friends as well, I was attracting the same, because I was in need of someone. So whenever you're in need of someone, you will attract the wrong person.
That's very beautiful. You have given like a very great lesson on how, you attract what you are. You attract the energy that's already in you. And I totally believe in that. And I definitely agree in it, because we tend to repeat patterns that are unhealed. What we repeat, right? And that's very, very important. And you've mentioned something very important right there. I hope it enlightens someone that's watching this, that's going to be watching this episode. On to the next question. As I mentioned before, and as you mentioned that, you're attracting narcissistic people, and you did, you were in a narcissistic relationship, right? And you experienced this very harsh thingy. Being in a relationship drains a lot of your energy, as it is. It drains you emotionally, it drains you mentally, especially if it's toxic. Would you briefly talk about your experience?
Definitely. Yeah, exactly.
On how you tried healing yourself after that toxic relationship? And what was it like you being in it? Well, like, when did you realize, okay, this thing is happening, I need to like stop it? And tell us your experience overall on it, on before and during and after.
So in 2019, I had my breakup when I was in a relationship with a person 5 years. And 3 months, I think that narcissist relationship was my rebound relationship.
Yes.
And within 3 months, I attracted someone who came to me and offering me, he was a coach. He came to me and I like the way your eyes opened that when I said he was a coach.
Apparently, before, I just want to interrupt you a bit, because it's like, what's very amazing and like very weird about it is that you're going to find a lot of people who are into coaching or maybe even psychology. Like, they're gonna do their work really well as a therapist or as a coach. But if you know them as a person, I've met people like that as well. That's why I'm like, wow, these people actually exist. You're gonna meet people and you're gonna realize that these people are so narcissistic. Not trying to categorize them in a bad way or anything, but it's the truth. Because I know someone that's been I have had a client and she's been in like a marriage with a therapist, a clinical psychologist, and she was just like, this person is narcissistic. And I'm like, what? That was the first time I heard something like that. And I was like, what? This thing actually exists? Like, then they're like, yeah. Then I remember having a class with like my professor, and my professor is like, your personality does not have to do anything with your profession. And I'm like, that actually does make sense, and that's why you're going to find people like that. So it's like,
but then I believe that when you are into this coaching thing, you need to be very authentic. And I think I hardly, then I don't believe anyone and I don't care what people think about me.
Yes.
I know that who am I going to attract? It means that you are doing your work for money. Your personality should attract, I know the personal life is different and professional life is different.
One of my aunts always tells me, because there was a time I have had this period where I was so aggressive and so angry type, and my aunt was like, you're getting into this profession, you need to make sure you need to heal yourself. When you're talking to someone, you need to be calm, that someone feels like, okay, you're actually in this profession, you're this kind of person. But if it's like you're also aggressive, angry, and trying to be talking really harshly, like, people would question your profession. You need to like kind of set this thing right. And I actually thought about it. I'm like, yeah, like, she has a point. Like, I agree to that,
Definitely.
So, okay, going back to the narcissistic partner experience.
It was a wonderful, horrible experience. And a very scary, that I started writing down a lot of things.
Yes.
And I was so shocked that I couldn't accept that how a person can be so cruel to someone who has, someone who has a very horrific medical condition.
Yeah.
That person came to Dubai and he was a coach. He wanted to work with me as a coach and started falling in love with me. And I was like, wow, he is my dream guy. As you have met a narcissist, how they fool you.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so much, charismatic personality, charming, everything, the way he speaks. And he was very much older than me. When I think now that why the hell I fell in love with him, he was so much older. I know it's nothing about the age. Yeah, it's nothing about the age, but still. And I was like,
that they just turn out to be, you question your own like choice. You're like, this was my choice. This is the person I was thinking about.
Exactly. Yeah. And he said that I met him in 2019 late in October.
Yes.
And in October, I was in Pakistan, October, November. In December, when I came and he came here for the New Year, I was like, wow, he came here for the New Year for me. Spent nothing on me. And I was like, is it the red signal or what? Took money from me and he used to go out, because when I saw his routine that he said that I'm coming to meet you, but in the morning we used to go for breakfast, that's it, and all day I didn't know that where is he.
Yeah.
Later night when I call, he is busy with his friends, and he said that we're going to celebrate the new year together.
Yeah.
When you are in a relationship, you feel excited that, you know, you are going to spend, you know, this occasion with your partner.
Yes.
When he didn't showed up with, you know, on a new year and took the money from me, I was left with 0 dirham. And I'm not lying, this 0 dirham. I said that because I didn't share it with my parents. My parents would have asked that where your money is going. And I was so much in need at that time.
Yes.
And he asked again, are scared that you are still spending? You wanted to say no, but you cannot say no.
Yeah.
I still don't know that I was so scared that that person used to take me in the malls and used to push me. I was holding a cup of tea, green tea, and was holding his other shopping bags.
Yeah.
And he said that, I said that, can you please hold? I cannot. He hold the shopping bags and my hand started shaking with the cup of tea. He just grabbed the tea and throw it away. He said that if you cannot hold it, then why are you holding it?
Yeah.
And I cannot even tell you that how much bad words he told me when the 12 days of his in Dubai was miserable for me. First, he was fine, but the other were, and I could have called the police here. I don't know why I was so stuck, why I was so scared that I didn't. He went back. I got to know that he is married. And he told me that you are such a, you know, person, you are so disabled. I was like, there was a word in our language which feels more bad when he, because I cannot say because you won't understand that.
Okay.
So he said that in Urdu, and I was like, you're so disabled. Sorry?
I understand Urdu.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So he said that you are so disabled, you are so handicapped, nobody is going to marry you. And you should be with me because I'm the only person who is accepting you. You will never find. And I actually got skeptical that what if I would never ever find someone?
Yeah. You question your worth.
Exactly. And I was doubting myself. He was so good in the morning, but later at night on phone calls as well, he was so aggressive. But in the morning, he starts showing that all love. I got to know that he is married.
Red signal a narcissistic person will show you.
Definitely gaslighting, manipulating, all of the stuff he was doing. And later I got to know that he is married and he was playing with other girls. I used to see that he was texting me. I mean, we are talking and he's texting other girls, sending them the heart.
Yeah.
And I was like, how, nasty, very ruthless person.
Yeah.
Ugly monster, I used to call. But now when I see myself, I didn't knew that I thought that I was healed.
Yeah.
Then after I met one of my friend and a coach and a narcissist, but narcissistic personalities have different categories.
Yes.
Not every narcissist person is the same.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's me. I have to say no.
Yeah.
If somebody is bothering me, taking my money, using me, I have to say no.
Have to say no, right?
It was hard.
Yeah.
People say that you are a coach and you too have difficulty in saying no, but we are human beings as well. Yes. We are learning.
Yeah.
Healing, I always say, is like, peeling the onion. Every layer, whenever you will, peel that layer, you find another layer.
Yourself, or
and you will
realize that you're going through this thing you don't realize at that point of time.
At times when I'm going to Marina by walk, I do think that how narcissist over here told me that, hey, walk fast. People are looking at you. I was like, why would they? I mean, I'm living here alone. I do walk now. What's the thing with walking fast that people are looking? His self-esteem was so low.
Yeah.
That he reflected his personality. He was projecting, his own movies onto me.
Totally. I agree with that. That's how it is with narcissistic people. It's because most of the time they're insecure and they project it on you. They feel that the whole world is just looking at them and because people don't have any other work to do. So they're just going to look at you and notice what you're going to do. But that's actually not what it is.
And then I shared this with no one. because I was scared that to whom should I share? My family? I mean, they say that again and again, you're coming up with the wrong relationships.
Yes.
Now it's time to end, this relationship playing games thing. They won't understand that. Why am I doing this? Why am I attracting this?
Yeah.
But when, then I got again close to Allah and I started praying, I started doing tasbih, and I cried a lot. And I do still have somehow glimpse of those, but now I am, alhamdulillah, very much, very, very, very much overcame through
Yes.
those emotions. But I used to question myself that, and I cannot, I mean, you have been through a lot, as you told me. I mean, we have chatted on Instagram and you have told me as well. Those 4 months was horrible, horrible for me.
Yes.
And after those 4 months, I don't know, I used to question myself again and again, when Allah is going to show, when, Allah will take revenge from him.
Yeah.
I could have taken the revenge,
Yeah.
it was in my hand to show people out. But then I said, it's better to let go and leave it on Allah, because if I'm going to take the revenge is going to be very small. So sit back, relax, and leave it on Allah, and then you'll see.
That's very true. I totally agree with that.
And you'll get peace.
Yeah.
Right. And you're learning patience as well here.
Like, it's very hard. It's very hard when you're out of such a relationship, like a very toxic relationship, and you want something to happen to them, but you're like, it's not worth using your energy on them.
Exactly.
Like, what are you going to do? Strangle them? What are you going to do? Like, no matter what you do, it's just not going to heal you. So it's better to just let it go, heal yourself, and let God deal with them.
But in my case, I was thinking that he is still using other girls, right? So I should, and he is a big personality in Pakistan.
Yes.
So I was like, why not, bring him into the media? And because I know a lot of people, my cousins, and they are into such things. And then I was like, just wait. You still need to learn patience, and Allah will definitely, because when we say that narcissists are not, they don't have that empathy in their brain. When you scan the narcissist brain, there is no empathy in them. But then it's not our fault.
Yes.
They will. Every soul,
taste
is going to taste whatever. Yeah, exactly. Is going to taste whatever they are doing to the other souls.
That's definitely. I totally believe that. What goes around comes back around.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. But I am glad that with spinal muscular atrophy, with so many heartbreaks, meeting narcissist, relationship, and friends, I have learned a lot. And I wish there would be a word better than acceptance.
Yeah.
I mean, courage. I have seen a lot of courageous people, but I'm not saying that my sufferings are huge. My sufferings are big, but Allah gives the physical conditions to those whom he loved the most.
Yes.
Who he thinks that they can, I mean, it's not me challenging. I mean, there are people who cannot even get up from this condition, whose neck is twisted. I mean, they are more strong than me.
Yes.
At least they are surviving.
Yeah, they're surviving.
This condition makes you, learn a lot of things and teaches you that what is true life.
Yes. So, after going through this kind of relationship, did you, when you were suffering through mental health issues and not you were not emotionally stable, did you approach a therapist, or what did you do to heal yourself?
I did my conscious healing course. And then, because I just wanted to, it was last year COVID when I was healing myself.
Yes.
And I was stuck in Pakistan for 5 months. And I was like, how do I do? I was just in my room, and my parents used to ask, what is it? What's wrong with you? I'm like, nothing, because I can't tell them at that time.
Yes.
And later I started talking to the therapists who were actually who were the clinical psychologists, and started doing the shows on narcissists.
Yeah.
So I did 5 shows, 5 different series on narcissism. They are on my Instagram as well. So that's how, I started talking and raising awareness about the narcissism, and I actually got clients. But I told them that I'm not certified in this, because not a clinical psychologist. My background is from psychology, but I'm not certified in clinical psychology. But they still wanted to. And then, because once it's not every time, it's not all about degrees. It's about your experiences as well.
Experiences as well, right?
So they came and I got to know a lot more about narcissists. So that's how I started healing myself. And the best healing comes when I write.
Yes.
I write poems as well. So, and I think that my this narcissism and my previous, then I don't say that it was my relationship, it was just a rebound. Yeah, rebound. But because the serious one was different and this was the rebound, because I was scared, I was in fear that maybe I'll get someone or I'll be single forever. And I'm like, it's better to be single than to be in a wrong relationship.
That's very
you will save money, you will feel rich.
That people don't understand. I have like a friend, and then she's gonna be in a relationship and be like, oh no, in the end of the day, you just have to be with someone, da 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 da. But I'm like, what's the point if you're not happy? What's the point if you're just like, you know, struggling with it and you're just not your authentic self with that person? What's the point of it? And then she just be like,
but nowadays people don't know about relationships. You know, all other relationships, they are based on the needs and attachments. Yes. For me, if I'll ever be in a relationship, I do believe that I will be in a relationship.
Yeah.
But then I know what I deserve. And it's when I say that I know what I deserve, it's not always about the money. It's that person will be conscious.
Yeah. That's very
must know. Yeah, he must know that what is true love. Yeah. Because love has no opposite. Yes. If in a fight we say that I hate you, it means that I have done something wrong and there was attachment.
Yeah.
So my kind of relationship is that it must be very conscious. If it's not, we both can work because healing is a long journey. I know that. So whenever I'm going to, and a lot of things will pop out from past.
Pop out, yes. If you don't heal,
you have to.
And it's like how are you going to handle it this time when it comes?
Even if you heal
relapses, how do you deal with it? You know?
Yeah.
So you need. It's really long.
Yeah, it is. So because now we are single, we don't know when we are in a relationship, the things will pop out that how we have to observe the thoughts. We don't have to react. Emotions will come, but then the challenge is that don't react. Be conscious, be the watcher, and just sit and relax and see that, okay, now, and then you will feel pain body. I mean, whenever I get angry now, I mean, someone through my parents, I get pissed off, I see, I observe, and then I let go.
Yeah.
At times I do get frustrated, but then it reminds me that, okay, now my mind is fooling me.
That's very beautiful. I really love it. So we're coming to the end of this show, okay? And right now we're getting into the round. It's called the Speed It Up round. It's like a really fun round, and I'm going to time you for it, right? So I'm going to ask you a few questions, and you have to reply them very quickly. You're not supposed to take so much time, right?
Now, don't scare my brain.
No, it's fun. So you just know that it's a really fun thing to do, okay? So I'm just going to timer, okay? This round is called the Speed It Up round. Okay, so I'm gonna time you. I'm gonna ask you questions, just reply them really quick. And the winner will be someone that's gonna be announced by the end of the season. Okay? All right.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, your time starts now. An affirmation you live with.
I love my life.
An advice you would give to the following. 1, to someone that's about to give up.
Your soul is more intelligent than your brain.
2, someone who's dealing with a narcissistic partner.
Trust your instinct.
3, someone who is considered lazy.
There is no such thing as lazy. It's in your brain.
So, 4, someone who's trying to follow up with their dreams and, work on their dreams, but cannot because of certain circumstances.
There are no excuses.
Yeah. Would you rather cancel your gym sessions or cancel your appointment with your client?
I will reschedule the sessions, but I won't cancel the gym session.
Yeah. Speak an unspeakable statement.
Silence.
Silence?
In the silence, you will get the answer.
That's very powerful. Thank you so much. So your time has been around 1 minute and like 20, 30 seconds. I kind of like used this timer thingy wrong, but yeah, that was your timer. It was an amazing thing. Thank you so much for coming into the show, Javaria. I really appreciate you coming over. I really appreciate you, taking your time and coming into this show. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you for coming here and speaking the unspeakable. I really appreciate that. It takes so much courage. Continue doing what you're doing. You're a very optimistic person, and I love what you're doing. I'm always up on your page seeing what you're up to. I want like
same here.
Sometimes I stalk you when like I have nothing to do. I'm just there checking, okay, what is she doing? What did she post? Because you have this very like, fruitful posts that you're always posting. So I really love them. And thank you so much for coming over.
Thanks to you as well. Take care.
Take care.